There are places that endure because they remain unchanged. But there are also places that endure because every generation finds a new meaning in them. The Temple of Literature is more than an ancient monument. It is a question that has echoed for nearly 1,000 years. Why has this place never truly disappeared? In the middle of noisy Hanoi, there is an old stretch of wall that almost never seems to hurry. People pass by it every day. Some stop to take photos. Some walk in to pray for luck. But very few ask, why is this place still standing? The Temple of Literature, Quoc Tu Giam, is often referred to as Vietnam's first university. That description is familiar, but if we stop there, the story becomes far too simple. And this place is anything but simple. It was once a place of worship. It was once a center of learning for the nation's elite. It was once a symbol of royal authority. And over time, it became a shared memory that generations of Vietnamese have come to call their own. The mystery is not its age. Many older monuments have disappeared. The mystery lies in the survival of an idea, that knowledge can be built into a place, embodied in ritual and carved into stone. Today, many people come here before important exams. They do not come to study Confucianism. They do not come in hopes of entering the imperial court. They come because they believe this place still carries the enduring spirit of learning. But that belief did not emerge on its own. It was shaped over centuries through state policy, ritual, imperial examinations, the legacy of distinguished scholars, and even the silent stone steles that never speak, yet never stop reminding us. Before stepping inside, take a moment to look beyond the gates. Van Lake was once an integral part of the entire complex. It reveals that the Temple of Literature was never designed as a tourist attraction, but as a carefully ordered world of its own. The walls here do more than enclose a piece of land. They separate two different rhythms of life. Outside is a city that changes every day. Inside is a carefully designed space that invites people to slow down. The Temple of Literature does not reveal itself all at once. Instead, it guides visitors through one layer after another. The experience feels like a gradual preparation. Before reaching the sacred spaces or the stone steles, every visitor is quietly compelled to slow their pace. Some symbols become so famous that they overshadow the deeper story. The Q Van Pavilion is beautiful, but its beauty is not the focus of this film. The real question is, why did this place need a symbol dedicated to literature and scholarship? Many people walk past the stone steles as if they were nothing more than an ancient backdrop. But to the imperial court, these steles were never mere decoration. They were a public record of those whom the state recognized as men of talent and virtue. What few people notice is that the steles do more than record names. They also preserve the ideals of their time. To study in order to serve in government, to serve in government in order to strengthen the nation, and for those who earn distinction to remain accountable before history. To understand this place, we must return to Tang Long in the early Lai dynasty. As a new imperial capital was taking shape, the court needed more than walls and fortifications. It needed a system of symbols that declared this new authority was founded on culture, order, and moral principles. In 1070, the Temple of Literature was established under the reign of Emperor Lai Tong to honor Confucius and the great sages of Confucianism. It was more than a place of worship. It was a declaration of the direction the state intended to take. A few years later, Quoc Tu Giam was established. In its early years, it was not a school open to every social class. Its primary purpose was to educate members of the royal family and the aristocracy. A common misconception is to describe Quoc Tu Giam as a university in the modern sense. More accurately, it was the nation's highest state academy, the intellectual center where the monarchy trained its Confucian elite. Its purpose was fundamentally different from that of modern education. Over the centuries, the imperial examination system became the primary path for selecting those who would serve the state. As a result, the Temple of Literature, Quoc Tu Giam, was never just about education. It was directly tied to the way a nation chose its leaders and public officials. During the Liu dynasty, that ideal was taken even further. The court did more than educate scholars and hold examinations. It began carving the names of successful candidates into stone. From that moment on, the memory of learning no longer lived only in books. The story reached a turning point in 1484, when Emperor Liu Tong ordered the creation of the Doctoral Laureate Steles. The first stele commemorated the successful candidates of the 1442 imperial examination. What seemed like a ceremonial decision would leave a legacy that endured for centuries. Today, 82 Doctoral Laureate Steles remain at the Temple of Literature, Quoc Tu Giam. They record the imperial examinations held from the 15th to the 18th century, primarily during the Liu and Mac dynasties. Each stele preserves a fragment of the history of Vietnam's Confucian educational tradition. The answer begins to come into focus here. The Temple of Literature has survived not simply because it is a beautiful monument. It has endured because it contains a system of remembrance, recording names, hometowns, examination records, and ideals. Researchers have long emphasized the uniqueness of this system of stone steles. Many East Asian countries adopted the Confucian examination system. But Vietnam's tradition of erecting stone steles to honor doctoral laureates stands as a distinctive practice. The steles bear the names of people who would later become renowned scholars, historians, politicians, and diplomats. But what matters most is not any single individual. It is the message. The imperial court wanted society to see education as a path to self-cultivation and advancement. In 2010, the Doctoral Laureate Steles were inscribed on the UNESCO Memory of the World Register. That recognition did not turn stone into memory. It simply acknowledged what had always been true. These steles are an extraordinary archive of historical knowledge. Not everything we see today is original. Some structures have been altered, lost, or reconstructed over the course of preservation efforts. The Temple of Literature is not a frozen relic of the past. Today, the site is managed as a cultural heritage monument, an educational space, and a gathering place for the community. It no longer trains imperial officials, but it continues to teach people the enduring value of learning. That is its most significant transformation. From a place reserved for the elite, the Temple of Literature has become a place open to the public. Its meaning no longer belongs solely to the imperial court. It has been reinterpreted and embraced by modern society. In 2012, the Temple of Literature, Quoc Tu Giam, was designated a special national monument. But that designation is not the end of the story. It raises a different question. How do we preserve a living heritage without turning it into nothing more than a backdrop? Perhaps this place endures because it never belongs entirely to the past. Every generation arrives here carrying its own concerns, examinations, success, honor, or the question of what we are truly learning for. The Temple of Literature, Quoc Tu Giam, has endured not simply because of its bricks, timber, and stone. It has survived because Vietnamese society still needs a place where people can believe that knowledge has the power to elevate human potential. Perhaps that is why this place has never truly become a ruin. What has endured is not only its architecture, but an idea that each generation continues to preserve and pass on. Long after the dynasties, the examinations, and the people who once walked these grounds are gone, one question remains. What kind of society can be built when knowledge is given the place it deserves? The Temple of Literature, Quoc Tu Giam, does not ask us to live as people once did. It simply reminds us that every civilization begins with the way it values knowledge. Some monuments endure because of the materials they are built from. This one endures because of the belief it represents. When you leave the Temple of Literature, what stays with you may not be its rooftops, its stone steles, or its ancient trees. What remains is a question that each of us must answer. If knowledge once served as the foundation for building a nation, what are we using it to build today? Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoy documentary films exploring Vietnam's history, culture, and untold stories, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming episodes.